Welcome back to LJ's Comic Bro. My name is Jay. I am the host for the show, and happy new comic book day to everybody. I'm hoping everyone was able to have a great week last week, and I'm hoping also that you were able to go out and pick up your books, be able to check them out, and I'm hoping everybody's stories is going the way they want them to. I know after picking up some of my books up on Saturday, I'm excited about the way the storylines are going for me, and I love to be able to show them off to you. But before I go into doing that, I got a little business I want to take care of. If you like what you're watching, dear God, if you like what you're seeing, and if you like the words coming out of this mouth, please like, please subscribe, and please share. Please leave a comment, because the best thing about doing a show like this is be able to have that conversation with those with like interests like myself, to be able to sit around and talk about comic books. Doesn't matter what kind of comic books you want to talk about. I'd love to be able to hear about the ones that you're reading. I'd love to be able to hear about the ones that you're sitting around and hoping that either the villains are doing better, or the good guys. Personally, I'm more of a villains guy myself, but there's not too many books based just on villains. Other than that, from watching my show, I'm a huge Amazing Spider-Man fan and Spawn fan. I also love some of the great writers that are coming out these days and have done such an amazing job picking up the pen and moving on. So, another little thing I want to talk to you about. Dear God, if you have any questions, one thing I hope I bring a lot is awareness of the rescues and animal rescues. And dear God, if you have any questions or anything like that, please, I'd like to be able to answer them, or if I can't answer any kind of questions about rescuing or helping you out in your whatever predicament, I hope I'm able to at least point you in a direction that you'll be able to get all your questions answered. So, that being said, let's talk about a little bit about comics. Let's talk about some of the books that I actually picked up today, or picked up on Saturday, I should say, including this little special book here. Now, I've been telling everybody, you guys got to go pick up The Incredible Hulk. Phil Kennedy Johnson has done such an amazing job, except for the small short storyline that personally that I have been enjoying, except for the artwork itself. Obviously, Nick Klein has been doing such an amazing job. I want to be able to show that off. That is an amazing cover, but that is not what's inside this book. I've been a little let down. I guess it's due to the fact that where the storyline is based in New Orleans, they got another artist to be able to sit in and fill in and do the artwork for the storyline. And personally, like I said, I'm not a huge fan, and I'm actually going to open up the book here and I'm going to show you a little bit of reason why. And it's mostly due to the fact that when I sit here and I read a comic book, I like how everything intermingles. I love how, at least when the artwork, when it intermingles, when it draws you into the story. And personally, when I sit here and I look at the story itself, the writing is phenomenal. The writing is great, but the artwork really does make me feel like the Hawk is just placed there last second instead of being a part of the actual artwork. Here, I'll show you personally a picture and just a thing. See, here's the artwork. Here's where the Incredible Hulk is placed. See, it looks like here's the artwork, and oh, we forgot to place the Hulk. Let's just put him in here, right here, like that. Stuff like that has really kind of messed up, I think personally, the storyline. It's been done so many times throughout this small storyline, which has already gone through like 2 other books, and I feel basically it's just bad placement. It's just literally bad placement on how you're drawing this character or whatever. Oh, I also want to show you, I'm so super excited about this, and Marvel is now advertising this like crazy. This Blood Hunt looks absolutely freaking fantastic. I am so looking forward to be able to read all these. I'm so forward to be able to show them off. I'm so forward to be able to talk about every one of them. I am looking forward to this. I'm hoping everybody else is too. But that being said, I'll show you a few other things here. Just some of the artwork here on the way it's done. And like I said, I mean, look, the Hawk just, I don't know what that is, but it surely doesn't. It looks like a bad drawing of the Hawk, where the arm is a hell of a lot bigger than the rest of the body. I don't know. It's just, I think, honestly, I think what needs to happen is Phil Kennedy Johnson needs to take a little bit and stand up and say, hey, hold on, we need to do a little bit better on this, on the drawing of these character. This is one of those iconic characters for Marvel. So personally, when I sit around and I see that being done, I'm like, I am a little let down on that. But other than that, the story is great. I love how it's going, and it is definitely one of those books maybe you should be able to pick up. And it started, I think, in issue 9 for this storyline. So if you want to skip 9 through 11, I'm completely understandable. The rest of the artwork so far has been phenomenal, though. All right, if you guys have watched this show before, I'm a huge Todd McFarlane fan, and here is another example of why Todd really is a good writer, and he doesn't give himself enough credit. He is a great artist, but he is a good writer when it comes to his characters, at least. And personally, this is one of those characters, and this is one of those storylines I really do love the cover for this. I'm glad I got cover A for this book itself, but because it just, honestly, it reminds me of an older style comic, the way things were drawn, but except for it doesn't have like that paper feel of the cover. But either way, absolutely amazing storyline, amazing how things are going, and the after effects of Spawn 350. So, and you actually get to see who really is Gunslinger in this. It's God. I feel like I'm doing spoiler here, but it's almost a younger character playing this old character in as a Spawn. So it really is cool. I absolutely love the Gunslinger Spawn. I'm so glad Todd's still doing it. He's also doing a few other books. If you haven't noticed, the Spawn universe is starting to spread wildfire everywhere. I have not picked up the last Rat City. I wasn't actually interested in actually reading that, but there is definitely a few of the other comic books I'm looking forward to picking up and reading here soon. All right. Chip Zdarsky. Okay, Dark Prisons. This is Batman issue 146. It's back to a great storyline. Okay, we got over the hump of the Joker. We got over the hump of everything that was going on in that weird storyline of how the Joker was then created or whatever. And I'm glad we finally got over that. I actually think they should have never did that in any way, shape, or form. I know how you like trying to, let's go in a different direction just to bring it back, but we didn't need it. There was no way we needed that. We all know the story of the Joker. We all know how he was created. We did not need a new form of that, and it kind of just ruined, I think personally, ruined the whole vibe of what the Joker was going through. It almost made me feel like I was supposed to be feeling sorry for a character. And good villains, you should feel, I guess, a little sympathy about how they got there and how all their misfortunes actually happened and why they became a bad guy, but not enough that made me think, okay, we should change his past. So, But either way, Batman 146, The Dark Prisons, Part 2, brings it back to a great storyline. I absolutely love Chip's work on this. I'm so glad he did not change anything after that, and we're not hearing about the Joker's past or whatever. I love how I love how they're making Failsafe a hell of a lot bigger villain, and I'm really hoping, and I'm glad, I should say, I'm also glad that my idea of bringing in the Justice League has not fallen on deaf ears. I'm loving seeing that. I'm hoping that Failsafe really just starts taking over and becomes one hell of a villain that the Justice League has to take on. I'm hoping that actually that it starts spreading. Failsafe starts spreading throughout the other Justice League story characters. I would love to see him in Green Lantern. I'd love to be able to see him in Wonder Woman. I'd love to be able to see him in Superman, bring him in Action Comics or something. I'd love to be able to see this character start traveling around and start becoming a menace to everybody. Only time will tell, I guess. So, all right, Jed MacKay. Okay, the one thing I will say. And I think about every one of the books that I'm actually talking to you about today is the writer. And one, I love talking more about the writing than I do about the artwork. Not saying that the artwork doesn't catch my eye and engulfs me or makes me want to buy a cover or makes me want to buy a comic book, because it does. But I have more connection with the story and with the writing because I did some schooling for writing. I did writing at one time. I've got a few things copyrighted or whatever and published. So to me, it has a little bit more connection. And Jed MacKay, I'm going to say you hit a home run, and you've been hitting a home run ever since you've taken over Doctor Strange. I absolutely love the story. I love them being in a Dungeons and Dragons type game. I love that he had to sit there and grab a few friends, grab a few foes to be able to help him out throughout the storyline and try to make it through alive. I absolutely love this, and I love how they brought it down to, okay, the next thing you have to read is Blood Hunt issue number 1. And the one thing is, I'm hoping Jed MacKay is not spreading himself way too thin when it comes to what he is about to overtake, because he's about to take on. Once X-Men 700 happens, he's about to take on the X-Men also. That's another huge story with a huge cast of characters, where he's going to end up having to pick a whole new X-Men team and run with that. So there's going to be so much there and so much meat on the bones, I know, to be able to sit there and take on. But dear God, I've seen so many writers fall by the wayside because that is just way too much. Either family life fails them, or everything, or a book just goes to the trash can. And I don't know if he's maybe dropping a book or whatever, but that is a huge task. And also to be able to take on the Blood Hunt and be able to make everybody kind of go down the same tunnel and direct. So it is definitely one of those things. I'd love to be able to see how he does with that. But Doctor Strange, amazing book. Please pick this up. If you have not started collecting Doctor Strange, this is issue 14. You are definitely missing out on some great Doctor Strange stories. On top of that, here's another Jed MacKay. It's Vengeance of Moon Knight. 30 issues of Moon Knight he did. All right, and each one made me look forward to the next issue. And he's done the same thing with Avengers of the Moon Knight. This is issue number 4. This one does not lead to Blood Hunt yet. I think issue 6 is actually the first issue of the Blood Hunt with Moon Knight. So I am looking forward to where this storyline is going. I'm loving every second of it. We finally figure out, and they finally tell us who the new Moon Knight is. So that, they're not dragging their feet on that and making you think, dear God, I don't even care anymore. I'm glad they finally revealed that in issue number 4. Love this. Please, if you do not pick up Moon Knight, pick up the trade backs. You will not be let down by some great storytelling. Okay, for all those that love the Immortal Hulk, for all those that love a few of the X-Men Red and a few of the other stories that this gentleman has done, including now taking over, I think, the complete reins of, um, of Venom, because unfortunately, when he was sharing it, I absolutely believed they weren't on the same page, and I felt like they were fighting each other just to see where the story should go. So I'm glad he's not sharing the reins for that anymore. Unfortunately, I will not be picking it up just to see where it's headed. I do have a few set aside just for Blood Hunt. I think I have 34 and 30, or 35 and 36, 33, 34, whatever. I do have those set aside. But Mr. Al Ewing, I absolutely love your work. Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy. There's another great story he did. Another great storyline he did for those characters. But this is the Immortal Thor, issue number 9, the story within the story of being told. I love what he's doing with this character. I love how he is making them believe that everything's been written. All they're doing is following a storyline, and I love that sometimes is needed, and it's almost like the way it's done, it's almost like a Deadpool or a She-Hulk thing, break fourth wall kind of storyline, but a little bit more in depth, because dear God, they're showing the actual book that you are supposed to be reading or following, to follow the storyline on how his story is supposed to be read. I absolutely love that. So if you love a great story about Thor, this is the Mortal Thor by Al Ewing. Absolutely pick it up. Now I've got one other book here to be able to show off to you. This is the last book here. This is Batman First Night by Dan Jurgens, Mike Perkins, and Mike Spicer. And this is classic 1939's Batman. All right, this is the Batman that absolutely used a gun, which I am so excited, because Batman at one time did use a gun. He did. He fired. He shot people. He absolutely did. And maybe I'm wrong, but I remember those stories from reading them from my dad's comic books when I was a kid, and I'm like, oh my God, Batman had a gun. And I could be wrong. I could be remembering it. And dear God, if I am, please tell me. Say, hey, no, Batman never once picked up a gun. He never fired it. It wasn't him. Nope. It won't. Nope. You can't tell me any different. And I would love to be able to have that story. So please, if I am wrong about this, please tell me. But this is Batman First Night. Dan Jurgens has done an amazing job bringing it back to 1939. Batman story. I absolutely love this book. I love the Black Label Batmans. Most of the time they are home run, unless they're the Reptile Batman. That was absolutely horrible. But other than that, they've done a great job with this. The artwork is phenomenal. The old style classic, how is so good. I really do want to show you. I love how they made you feel you were reading an old golden age Batman. So, I mean, I'll show you this a little bit off. I mean, the interior work is absolutely beautiful. I mean, dear God, it's just like I really feel, and it really draws me in. Literally, when I was, oh God, I show a little bit of Batman, but when I was reading this book, I absolutely felt like I was a part of the story. I mean, this is a little bit more than 32 pages. So when the book ended, I was like, holy crap, it's already over. And I'm so looking forward to the next issue. I think the next issue is the very last issue. In this storyline, they are fighting people coming back from the dead. And like I said, it is such a fun storyline. I'm glad I ended up deciding to pick it up. And I won't ever call it a waste of money, but I'm glad I spent the money on this book and the series itself. So they're the books I'm glad that I was able to share with you. Then again, let's go to the little business. If you like what you're watching, dear God, if you like what you're seeing, if you like the words coming out of this mouth, please like, please subscribe, please comment. Because the best thing about doing a show like this is to be able to have that conversation with you. And dear God, please share. Love to be able to get up to 100 viewers well before I hit 50. I've got so very little. I'd love to be able to at least hit it. So, and also, if you have any questions about rescues, if you're gonna, please, if you're going to go pick up a baby, please think about and consider rescuing. There's so many little babies out there that are looking for their forever home, that are not in stores, but already just need a home. And so many people end up picking up animals and finding out they just don't have the time or just don't have the funds, and are looking to let them go to somebody else. So please be able to look out there. There's so many different ways to be able to find these babies. SPCA, you've got Craigslist. Dear God, I've seen it in that. I've seen it in Facebook. I've seen it in so many different places. Just make sure you do your research with your animals. So this is my name is Jay Akramovich. This is LJ's Comic Bro. Love to be able to hear from you next week. Please stay safe. Please have fun, and I hope you guys enjoy your comic books. Thank you very much. Have a great night.